Hi everyone, it's Tom Whitlock here from Clifton Asset Management. Today, I'm very pleased to be joined by John Dowding. John, for the benefit of people at home who don't know you, do you want to quickly introduce yourself and let us know what you do?
Yeah, good afternoon, Tom. My name's John Dowding. I'm the Technical Director at Lloyd, so principally in charge of all technical aspects of SIP and
Sure. Now today, we're going to be covering peer-to-peer and capability within pension funds. To kick things off, I suppose the obvious question is, what is peer-to-peer and how can it be used?
Yeah, okay. So, well, in very simple terms, a peer-to-peer platform matches people that want to borrow money with people that want to lend money. Quite simply, a business or an individual looking for some funding can go to a peer-to-peer platform, and the platform will match that borrowing requirement with someone who's looking to invest by means of lending to that individual or business.
Sure. And when it comes to making these investments, of course, looking at it from that side of things, what are some of the advantages of using a pension fund to invest in peer-to-peer?
Yeah, well, I mean, principally, be it a pension fund or the whole point of a peer-to-peer platform in terms of the investor is concerned is that it can offer better returns than certainly than most cash investments. The interest rates are linked to risk, so within reason you can select your risk reward that's suitable for yourself. It of course provides good diversification against other asset classes, which is particularly important within a pension portfolio, particularly in the medium to long term. It's not correlated to the stock market movements, and so won't be subject to stock market volatility. And so won't decrease in value if the stock market goes down, for example. It's also useful investment for those people in pensions that are drawing down some of their funds. Let's face it, ultimately that's what we're all striving to do in terms of a pension. As a peer-to-peer platform can pay regularly to a SIP or a SAS, which can then in turn provide or generate regular income out of SIP to the individual personally for their regular drawdown or pension income. So yeah, they're the principal advantages.
Sure. And I suppose for the sake of balance, like everything, there's going to be pros and cons to any investment you make. What would you say are some of the disadvantages of doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the loans, they are loans. It needs to be remembered that whilst the platform's returns, the underlying borrower may default or worse still, may become insolvent or bankrupt. So obviously there are ways to mitigate against this risk, and that's principally by spreading the exposure to multiple loans throughout the peer-to-peer platform portfolio. And indeed, many of the platforms actually do that as a matter of course and offer you an auto invest or auto select function, whereby your money is placed on the platform, it's distributed through a large number of loans, thereby mitigating that risk. So yeah, that's really the principal disadvantages that one needs to be mindful of. I mean, just one other point. Many platforms do in fact have what's called a provision fund. So in the event of default or non-payment of loans, then there's a reserve fund that can be used to mop up some of those default payments, but it's certainly something that one shouldn't rely upon.
Okay, and I know this isn't a type of investment that is offered with every pension provider out there. Why does Lloyd allow this when certain others won't?
Yeah, well, it's still a relatively young market, Tom. It is now regulated by the FCA, which is obviously a welcome development. It is an allowable investment in an ISA, which obviously lends it that additional layer of credibility. But it's market. But what we pride ourselves on at Lloyd is our enhanced level of due diligence that we undertake on any investment, not just peer-to-peer platform. As part of that package of the due diligence, we employ a third-party independent due diligence company that undertakes a very comprehensive and thorough report on any peer-to-peer platform that we're looking to partner with. And that due diligence is ongoing. It's maintained to ensure that the highest standards are adhered to when we're considering what peer-to-peer platform we allow our SIP investors to invest in. So yeah, there's been some challenges, certainly in terms of the SIP, because SIPs aren't allowed to lend to connected parties, and so there's always a concern that a borrower and lender may inadvertently become connected, which would have issues with the SIP. But we've managed to overcome all those issues by putting in proper control with the peer-to-peer platforms that we have on our panel now, and because of the in-depth work we've done, we have developed a really good relationship with the chaps on the respective panels that we can kind of adapt and make changes to suit both our requirements, and in turn make it a viable and diligent investment as far as we can for our SIP and SAS investors.
Absolutely. So I suppose really for anyone watching at home that thinks, do you know what, I could potentially be interested in doing something like this, what steps would they need to take to make this a reality?
Well, quite simply, Tom, on our website we have a page dedicated to peer-to-peer lending, and we list on there all the platforms that we've undertaken the due diligence I've spoken of, and just with a simple inquiries link to come through to the inquiries team, and we can take it from there.
Sounds good. Well, for anyone looking to find out more about this, we'll arrange some links to the website to be put in the video description below. But for now, John, I know you're very busy. I'll leave you to crack on with your afternoon. Thank you very much for your time and for imparting that knowledge upon us. And yeah, tune in for the next episode of AskTom, where we'll be talking about something else interesting you may be able to do with your pension. So thank you all at home. Goodbye.